Well, it definitely has a better chance to get financing, get attention from investors, and if they've done it over the last years, they have a broader market to look at. I think there are many opportunities abroad, but for a Spanish company that would start now, it may be harder because financing, although it's improving, it's still scarce. So definitely, a company that is now already international is definitely better off than just a local player. But there are exceptions, of course, like in anything. Yeah, it will all depend on the market and the country that you're trying to enter. There are places where you need to have to acquire the local brand, and that they're already very mature, and therefore trying to implement a new brand will be very hard. Others where your product might not have a very big added value in that emerging market, so again you might consider a different alternative. It really depends if you're acquiring a technology, if you're trying to set up a growth in a country that is very complex, like maybe Brazil or China. You might prefer to either buy a company or set up a joint venture. So it really depends on each market and each of your products. Well, I would advise them, if they're choosing the either way, I would say to have a really to get advice from people who know that market. If they're acquiring a company, I think a thorough due diligence is absolutely necessary, more now than ever, because there are many factors that can make the P&L look nice, but maybe not so much going forward. So it's very important to really know what you're buying. And if you're going through a greenfield operation, you have to get advice on taxes, on regulation, on local competitors, and so on. So advice. That's the key to success when going international. I think for Spanish corporations, anything that has to do with Latin America makes a lot of sense. Then there's a lot of diversity there. There are, I think, countries that right now are not very attractive for any investors, like Venezuela or Argentina. Others that are a bit more mature, but far away, like Chile. New emerging markets like Colombia, Peru, which might be very interesting. Mexico is very mature but very close to the US. So it really, each of them has a different advantages and disadvantages. Brazil, of course, but again, it's a very complex country, as you all know, and it will depend on your own product and your segment.